in many desserts and all kinds of stuff. That's ginger right there. Alright.
So right now,
Let's get started.
Rachel is mixing half a cup of butter and 1 cup of molasses. And Jordan right now is mixing together the 3 cups of flour and the spices together. Now the spices are...
Yeah, we need 1 teaspoon of ginger, nutmeg, allspice, cloves,
right?
and cinnamon.
Yo.
And then you have to mix that all together.
And that's flour inside.
Yeah, 3 cups of flour.
In the Middle Ages, people ate what they could afford. This mostly consisted of barley, spices, meat, and homegrown vegetables and spices. If they were lucky and had access to a waterway, they also had fish.
Spices were very popular, just like they are today. They used salt to preserve meat, and most peasants couldn't afford it though. So peasants used spices to cover up the taste of rotting meat. Ugh. Since back then they had no way to refrigerate meat.
More molasses.
If you were poor and eating it with the nobles, the salt would be placed on the opposite side of the table you were at, because only the nobles had the privilege of eating more expensive spices like salt.
It's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
At the table, when they were eating, they would usually use 1 large trough-like container, and they would use their hands to grab food out of it.
Now we are almost ready to pour in the 2 teaspoons of baking soda
And the boiling water.
sorry, wrong thing, and 1 cup of boiling water.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Good one, pour it slowly.
Yeah. Now we must add 1 more cup of boiling water.
I'll simply add another.
No,
You don't do it. Okay. But this say pour it in. Okay, do that slowly.
And now you add the flour and the spice mixture slowly while stirring.
Yeah. Lauren has beaten 2 eggs for us, and we'll add those in as soon as we're done mixing.
Okay. Now, barley was eaten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the Middle Ages. To make things more interesting, the peasants would make barley into pancakes, pizzas, soup, and even beer. Yummy.
As they transitioned into the Renaissance, a lot of the food from the Middle Ages came with it, except it was a more updated version. So, like when the soldiers were all fighting in the Crusades, they ate a lot of West Asian style foods,
Like
and
lemon.
fruits, like and
Lemons
like lots of
Mediterranean.
Yeah, more Mediterranean foods. So then when they came back home, they wanted all this stuff. So this shifted the foods, and so
Really
now
affected.
so now instead of like the Middle Ages when it was really unhealthy and they didn't eat a lot, it was very bland. Now is the Renaissance where they had more fruits and vegetables and like they had more feet.
Better diet.
Yeah, better diet, much healthier, but it was also like much better tasting.
Okay. The potato and corn revolutionized European farming.
Okay, Jordan is now adding the eggs.
Yes.
And I got
that is 2 cups, or no, 2 eggs, and they are beaten. Yes.
I picked these from the coop earlier this
Preferably
morning.
large eggs from the big tins.
Alright. So as Rachel finishes mixing this
Delicacy.
yummy delicacy.
Gingerbread is a dessert from the Middle Ages, and in the Renaissance, for their dessert, they had fruit.
Yeah, they made marmalade,
Jellies.
And they called it the fruit course instead of dessert. They thought dessert was a vulgar term.
yes, and hence the fruit. It was a healthier dessert choice.
Then, yeah, the nobles were more well-fed, but the peasants also grew their own crops.
Yes.
Yeah, but the peasants couldn't afford many spices and they couldn't even afford salt or anything.
Or sugar.
Or sugar.
As trade with the Middle East increased, they had more sugar, but it was really expensive, so...
Yeah.
Peasants didn't have it. Okay, this looks good.
All right.
Yes, it does.
Now we are going to take the mixture and we are going to pour it into a baking dish. I use Pam.
Make sure you spray the sheet first.
Make sure you grease it with lard or Pam or Crisco or whatever you like.
Oh, and we will bake this in a preheated oven, in a heated
preheated oven
at 350 degree temperature for 30 minutes.
Alright, put this in. And we have already actually prepared a batch for you.
How many minutes?
So I'm going to get that out of the oven after Lauren puts this in.
Oh,
Yum!
That looks mighty tasty.
The bread of ginger!
Okay.
So, usually when they ate, they would have dishes like this, but they were longer and deeper, and they would just use their hands to grab the food.
Yeah, they didn't use any utensils.
They were very barbaric.
It was a free-for-all.
Kind of nasty.
And now you may enjoy some in your classroom.
Yay! Music!